If those raises constantly connect from RSF, this lane could be a little bit more awkward for Abed than he'd want it to be this time around.
I mean, I think at the least, like, for Lumpy, support duo you're up against this time around. That mid SF.
Laughing, and then everyone starts.
To allow the coach to allow Dubu to draft for the team. They were actually worried, like, is the mullet dude not playing? And I said, of course he's playing. They said, we'll keep the TV on. This literally happened. I literally just got messages about this. I can't make this up.
He's been very forthcoming about it, which I was kind of surprised when we sat together. It's like, oh, John, don't talk about punches. I'm like, really? Cool. You know what? We'll see if he saves himself, if his defense is up as we're taking a look. For once up top, because we've been talking so much about Gabby. It's up against Peik on that Muerta and Moose, of course, on that CM. Has Tims to aid him out here for good old Gabby. This lane, by level 2 to 3, is when it can get nicely aggressive for Peik and Moose. The one thing for early levels for Tide, but Nanoplankton is... can't really do as much as you'd want early on. Your anchor smash range is... it's still wide, but not wide enough to aggro out Peik. You have a little bit less strength to start out with, although that was buffed up. It's not too bad for the Tide Hunter. Your attack range is really atrocious, so no form of harassment early here. Just gonna have to focus on anchor smashing and farming up, which should give Peik a lot of breathing room here. As long as he can control this lane, that level 2 to 3, they can start to threaten if the opportunity presents itself up top.
Absolutely. How are those other lanes going? Like mid lane right now, Abed and Lumpy are going at it. Abed is still leading quite heavily here, John, in that mid lane. 10-1 compared to the 4-1 of the SF. That's a pretty big gap when it comes to CS this early in the mid lane. A little bit concerning for Lumpy. I mean, thing is, he is going to get quite a few points now with the Necro Mastery, so at least his damage is going to go up. Speaking of bottom lane, Vitali already going down, but they do pick up Zhao. Natsumi will be able to back his way out. My point being, though, it's already a pretty rough start here for the mid SF. Abed, does he actually have a kill? No, he doesn't.
That double impact just does so much damage if he's right next to you. And that's generally what you want to do up against the SF anyway. Limit his raises as much as possible. Try to dodge out. Abed doing a fantastic job. He's played up against the SF matchup so many times in these qualifiers. He's very familiar with thing Lumpy did have an advantage on is mana.
Walk out of there, but this bottom, excuse me, rather top lane is going... But against the CM Muerta, it's just too much damage being pumped out from Beastcoast. Gabby, I can't believe he hasn't died yet on the Tide. Those raindrops have been working overtime for this poor Tide Hunter.
They have. Does ferry out a ton of regen just to stay in this lane, so even with the CS being nice for Gabby, he's not able to really get all those early items, although moves...
They're maybe going a little bit too far, but they are unable to punish. Gabby once again forced to just back out as he will lose all of his HP. I suppose we'll have a bit of a gander here on the top lane a little bit later on. It just feels like it's kind of the same thing over and over again between these two. Back at mid for a moment, Lumpy has caught up quite nicely on the SF, so actually overtaking Abed now on the CS board. And that's something nice to see, because Lumpy had a very rough start when it comes to the laning stage. At least he does overtake now, though he will find no power in for himself, sadly, on the SF. But neither will Abed, as now Gabby drops top lane, bottom lane, rather mid. Abed in trouble, the races will land, they'll secure the kill. Zhao barely able to time away before the Requiem hits. The chase is on. El Misha wants the kill. Scatter Blast is off cooldown in 1. Zhao, can he juke? I don't think so. Won't matter though, he's still alive. 1 charges will keep him up.
Barely so. You get the big kill that you're looking for on Beastcoast. Great read from Lumpy, just starting to run up that mid-ramp. Intercept when Abed was trying to go for the rune. Bit of an early rotation out from Abed here.
Certainly is Abed. Able to help secure Pake's life. That's a big one. Moose obviously going to try to run, but there's no real way out of this one for Moose. So Abed will eventually secure with the sleight of fist. It's an important kill because that top lane was going very badly. Blacklist International, so just being able to pick off Pake, who was top of the CS board, going to feel very nice.
Important one for the recovery of Abed as well.
Oh, they saw it. Abby's going to go for a chase, decides to better off. Backs out of it.
Radiant
More TPs come. Gabby, maybe left behind. Abed's going to show up. They'll go for the snap fight first. In fact, Natsumi's showing up to boot.
You are new.
Not something you quite expect to see, but Natsumi rotating onto that T1 top tower through the twin gates. Looks like he really wants to ensure that T1 top tower does get taken. Abed chains out. Moo's going to get caught. Moose will back his way up, but he's almost just dead. Pake in the meantime also in a lot of danger as Vitaly looking for a raw target. Gets lifted up by Tims. He'll roar up the Rubik instead, so Tims will drop. Meanwhile, Abed trying to find moves on the CM, but decides to better off. TV button. Again, I mean, Tims may get caught here by Moose. Does have Abed to help out, but it may not matter too much as he's just getting annihilated already by this SF. Just too much damage from Lumpy. Abed, they're going to try to turn as Gabby with the Ravage lands on two. They will clean up. Though Abed barely surviving on the Ember. Will be able to get away. No, but Beastcoast, they were doing so well up until that moment. Just not expecting Gabby with the rotation of the tide. But it makes all the difference.
This pace from Blacklist is still rough going. The Beastcoast, despite losing Lumpy earlier on, I mean, you're still not closing the gap enough on Blacklist just yet.
It's kind of I think it's the death on Natsumi that really makes... Going to show off the Ags or the drums of Slom here for Vitaly on the creep wave. Rest of his team just smoke right by him, hoping that somebody tries to go after this Beastmaster. Nobody coming though. Beastcoast can just think about Roshan.
Very nice.
Lumpy will come in, claim the Aegis for himself. Mid lane, Abed immediately remnants away. Just as soon as he sees Lumpy, he does not want to borrow. Speaking of Abed, like you look at the net worth differential right now between the cause of Blacklist and the cause of Abed. They've got no idea they're coming. Abed, if you can find the Raw on the Ember, you'd be very, very happy. Raw is out. They found Tims instead, so Tims is okay. Allow Abed out, but he is going to die. I suppose as Tims, he'll probably be okay with that. You know, you just... At least my Ember got away. Don't know where the rest of the squad is. With this style of draft from Blacklist, who do you actually kill being this far behind? Abby's alright, mid lane. Like, who do you actually kill at this stage of the game? TP away. Zhao will also TP away. But nobody going to get spotted here down to this bottom lane. Apart from Roshan, I think, which is available. Vitaly, being the smart man he is, will check. He does spot. So Roshan probably going to go the way of Beastcoast for free. A Blacklist International, sadly, have no real play here. As Tims also just casually dies to Lumpy, apparently. Lumpy... he's having a very good game here, John. This is what Lumpy was trying to do. Game 1, I missed it. Game 2, you know, I'm not repeating that kind of performance. It's top lane, Gabby. He's alright. Natsumi, because they're going to rush in. They'll get a big Ravage out. Pake, he was stunned up, but will it matter? They're onto the Troll Warlord. Natsumi! Natsumi is down again. Gabby will try to TP out, but he's not going to make it. What was the idea there? Like, we Ravage, we take a support.
Let's see if they can maximize this.
Oh, but Lumpy's got an amp damage rune. Well, this is probably some of the worst timing ever, is that they do pop the Ravage. They've got the Beastmaster. That's something, but Lumpy's popped the amp damage. He might want to go. Does he, though? No, he does. Still having a look around. They'll lose their mid-tier 1 tower. This could be a fight that really ruins Beastcoast if they're not too careful. Tims will get jumped. Lumpy will follow up. Tims will barely survive. Lumpy, he'll pop his BKB. Tims will go down. Meanwhile, they will lose Pake on the Aegis. But can they get him a second time? Black... But no, they've... Abed barely able to get away with the remnants, but El Misha's right behind him. Oh, Abed is gone to boot. They got Lumpy, but that's
He's really not achieving as much as you'd want to troll. I did appreciate his movement up top earlier on in the game. You know, when they were going for that early siege, they didn't even manage to fully siege at that point. And in these fights, it's like you mentioned in draft, troll just gets kited around. You've got enough control here on side of Beastcoast to not really care if you are seeing in the replays enough. It feels like you're going to need an item on top of a full SNY for things to get comfy or playable even for Blacklist overall.
Or is out. Zhao's been caught. Zhao is down. On to Gabby. Gabby is getting just destroyed here by this Murph. I mean, my god, is that some damage? At least they do get some kisses wasted. Buyback was also committed here by Zhao. That's about it. Nothing else comes of this. Just a buyback from the Phoenix. They are going to fight. Let the forces fight. They'll start to move in. We'll see Vitaly there for a second. Vitaly, he'll be able to back his way out. Keep in mind, Vitaly has Roar in 15 seconds. Lumpy will get jumped, but he's going to BKB out. Lumpy's fine. Pake's still having a look around. Now no BKB on the SF, but you've got Roar back up on your Peacemaster, so you have the Rec Room to boot. Gabby will get jumped. Roar is out. The egg will be dropped. They'll try to fight, but they've lost Gabby. No Ravage to come. Egg is down a boom. Zhao has died back. Natsumi's popped his BKB, but it amounts to nothing. Oh, it amounts to nothing. Lumpy survives. Abed to drop. Triple kill for Pake. Tims will barely get away. Seconds, still a while away, but Beastcoast, I think they're more than happy to force another fight. They're 30k ahead. There's no reason not to. But there's just not enough gold on Blacklist to actually fight back unless they get the perfect initiation, which is really up to Gabby. And he saw Gabby. Lumpy's going to move forward. They know where the tide is. Yules is out. Gabby locked down for a second. Going to try to run, but Vitaly jumps in with the Roar out, and it looks like Gabby might just be dropping and does. He just melts. Natsumi barely able to get away with the 4-stars being committed, but now the kisses are in. Battle Trance committed. He'll try to fight. Gets the ensnare underneath the egg, but Lumpy's still alive. Lumpy gets the Requiem off. There's your Ravage from Gabby. He's brought back into the fight, but Pake's still not dying. Pake pops the pierce the veil. Pake will turn around, and Pake's got him. Gabby is down. They do at least take down Lumpy. They'll try to find Vitaly. They've actually got him. Blacklist.
Pake?
Are they doing it? Pake? Oh, Abed, no! At least Pake does try. Zhao about to fall. El Misho at least able to take him with him, but Zhao will laugh from the grave as El Misho should drop. Natsumi onto moves, now moves. It will be the final piece of the puzzle for the full team wipe. It looks like they should have it. A lot of buybacks committed, but it will matter in the end, as it seems like Blacklist International, Jonathan, have found a way back into this game too.
For Blacklist, they held off on the ranged attacks from Natsumi. Could have just stood back with range axes and cleaned it up.
Game number 2. I mean, at least it's a great game. The Beastcoast, that is. I mean, not so much for Blacklist International right now, but
no. Yeah.
Here we go. Gabby, you can't afford to die. You really can't afford...
Yeah.
Tier 3 tower now under siege. It's not easy being an SCA fan, John, I'll tell you. Lumpy.
No.
Sunray out, just really doing so much damage from Zhao.
Radiant structures.
Falling quite low in terms of the HP department himself. He might need to be a little bit careful. They have the Aegis, but it's on Lumpy. So Pei can't really play too far forward. Mind you, of course, Pierce the Veil is always available. And with Gabby down without Roar up, Ravage up, it's going to be very hard. And speaking of Roar, Tim's will just die. The Roar being committed immediately to take down the Rubik as now Natsumi forced the BKB and popped the Battle Trance. But what does it matter? Well, he might find Vitaly, or he may not. Vitaly's still alive. He'll jump out of there. As now, Natsumi trying to fight, can't do it. Arbit trying to fight, can't do it either. They're both gone. Gel, the last piece of the puzzle for the team wipe. He'll get the egg off. Arbit will bite back. Trying to make some magic happen here is Arbit. Maybe he picks off Lumpy. Probably not though, let's be frank. Lumpy loses Aegis, but he's got the Refresher Shard ready to switch in. Gabby in huge danger. And there's your Requiem. Ravage doesn't matter. Refresh, Requiem, Lumpy, can he time it? Yes he can. Arbit's been caught, Arbit's down, GG is called. Beastcoast. I'll tell you what, John, I had zero faith in this team after what I saw in game 1. But my goodness, they run it back and Beastcoast. I'll tell you, this team, if they get the draft they're looking for, they are looking fantastic.
That they do, and